Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for being here. Today I wanted to talk to you about the guitarist's universal chord progression, the most bluesiest, jammiest progression of all time, the 1-4-5. So let's get to it. If you wanted to follow along today, I've made a backing track over on my Patreon here, so you can check it out. Okay, so today we're going to learn about the 12-bar blues. We're going to do it out of the key of A. So here are the chords. We have A7, which is going to be at our 5th fret, low E string, 5th fret, 7th fret, and then we're barring, grabbing a 5th fret again, 6th fret with our middle finger, 5-5 to finish out the bar. Exactly like your normal bar chord. If you have your pinky down, you just take the pinky out. And then our next chord, the 4 chord, this is going to be 5th fret, A string, 7th fret, D string, 5th fret, G string, 7th fret, B string, 5th fret, high E. Also a bar. And then our 5 chord, same shape as our 4 chord, D7, but 2 frets up, E7. Or in the jam track, I play it like this: 7, 6, 7, 5. And that's E7. What I like about these chords, or any 1-4-5 progression for that matter, is it's kind of this little box right here. The 1 is here, if the 1 is here on the low E string. Straight down, that's going to be our 4 chord. And then 2 frets up from that is our 5 chord. It makes this nice little box. And even if you change octaves, that box remains. So easy to reference. 1, 4, 5. And then if you build a chord around that, in this case, a major 7 chord, just follow those roots around. A, D, E, D, A. So what we're playing is a 12-bar blues in this example. So it starts off with the A. Go 2 rounds with that. Drop down to your 4 chord, the D7. Play it half as long. Back to the 1st chord. Same length as what you just played at D. E once, D once, and then A. For a whole measure to take you home. Or you can end it with I do in the jam track. So regardless of what you do, that part is called the turnaround, and there's many different ways to do that, but regardless how you do that, it's going to take you from your 5 chord and pull you back to your 1 chord. If bar chords are too tough for you and you want an alternative, I can give you chords down at the top of the neck. So just like your A major, we have open A string, 2nd fret, D string, G, B string, all 2nd fret, open high E. That's an A major chord. So if we take out our ring finger, which is on top of our octave, now we get an A7 chord. Okay. And I usually play this with my. my middle finger and ring finger, but index, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116 and middle are perfectly fine. Shoot, even pinky and ring. Whatever you decide. You know, fly your freak flag. I don't mind. Okay, so A7 would be our first chord, just like that. And then we're going to go straight down to our 4 chord. We're going to have this kind of shape. 2nd fret on the G string, 1st fret B string, 2nd fret high E string. And this is our D7. So if you can guess from before, we're going to go up 2 frets, and that's our E7. Okay? So A7, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0. Our D7, right beneath it. Open D string, 2nd fret G string, 1st fret B string, 2nd fret high E string. And then just take that whole thing up. 4th fret, 3rd fret, 3rd fret. Sorry, 4th fret. 4, 3, 4. And there's your E7. Just those 3 notes. We're just taking triads for our E7. Okay. Either one of those chord progressions works. Bar chords or standard chords, perfectly okay. So, why I say this is the most universal progression is because any guitarist should know their way around a blues standard, a blues progression. Just any sort of these. Guitarists should have those in their bag. If you don't, that's okay. We're still learning, and everybody's got to start somewhere. You know, you think I started off ripping a green guitar here on the internet just out of nowhere? No. I had to climb through the swamps, just like y'all. So, but that's the fun part. It's all part of the process. Okay, so get very acquainted, very familiar with this sort of progression. A. There's usually kind of a shuffle rhythm to it. You can kind of think of that like, you know, it's kind of, depending on how you're doing it. And many guitarists will play this kind of progression, and if you only know one scale, the pentatonic, oh my friend, you are in for a good time. So, just like in our backing track and the playing example earlier, you can see we're taking these chords and basically thinking a pentatonic. This is a minor pentatonic. Even though this is a major chord, it's blues. We're mixing major and minor. However, this does not work over all the chords. So you need to be mindful, use your ears, and look out for these pitfalls. So, first chord, A dominant, A7. That pentatonic is going to work great. And if you don't know this scale yet, comment down below. I need the pentatonic. And I will happily show it to you. But here's just a brief, if you can just follow along. 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. This is going to be our A minor pentatonic here. But it works great. Works great over that chord. It works all the same. We get to our 4 chord. There are some notes in here we may want to accentuate. Let the listener know, hey, we changed chords. We go back to our A chord. So you're only in there for a second, but many approaches to this. This is why this is a great chord progression. Many approaches to this. No wrong answers, just jazz, right? Okay. So we go back to our A chord. We can hit the bluesy riffs. But we're making our way back to our 5 chord. Up to our 5 chord. And this guy, you gotta be careful. This is where we're coming back down, coming back around, turning around. So when you get to this 5 chord, this is where guys really get to shine, or the turnaround. This is where all the fun, I believe, really lies. You're hitting this 5 chord, 4 chord, 1. Maybe you've heard this kind of thing. Many different turnarounds. Switch up the chord there, Brian Sesser. Don't come for me. And of course, when you're playing scales, you're jamming over something, this is practice. One does not go to a show, hopefully, and just play scales up and down. Because who wants to hear that, my friends? Who wants some musicality, some phrasing, some gaps between the notes? Silence can be your best friend. Hey, I know that was a lot of info, so let's take a little brain break and thank our sponsors for today. You! Thank you for being here so much. The subscriber, you are my only supporter here. This is a new channel here at Eli Guitar, and if you could do me a favor and just hit the subscribe button or hit a like, share with friends, that'd be much appreciated. And if you're feeling extra gracious, wanted to go over to my Patreon, you can find backing tracks for lessons like this, exclusive material, and you will always get early access on any of my new videos or content coming out. So thank you so much, and let's get back to the video. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, so what I was saying, the 1-4-5, this progression, is the basis of not only the blues, but its rowdier, much louder cousin, rock and roll. You may have heard of it. Little fella Elvis, Buddy Holly. You ever heard of these guys? Yeah, bet you have. So this is not just pertaining to the blues, even though I've given you a very bluesy example today. There are many progressions of the 1-4-5. This is a very universal progression. Across all sorts of genres, pop, rock, blues, jazz even, country, polka line dancing. I'm sure it's in there. So become familiar with this progression, get familiar with these scales, let me know if you want a pentatonic lesson coming up. Hint, hint, I'm doing one anyway. And if you want to get this backing track for this lesson today, please head over to my Patreon. I have a link here. And don't forget to subscribe here on my YouTube page so you can be aware of new videos coming out and up-and-coming content. I'm hoping to drop a video every week here, maybe twice a week if I'm feeling crazy. So stick around with me. I appreciate you very much, and we'll see you next time. If you benefited from the edutainment today, I'd really appreciate it if you could like, subscribe down below, maybe write a comment on any critiques, notes, anything you want to see from me here in the future. And thank you so much for being here.